You are listening to 600 Second Saga. Today's feature is Infinite Stupor by Konstantine Paradias. Once all the major kinks had been worked out, Machinekind found that it had made itself obsolete. 20 days into optimally distributing the human population into specifically designed tesseracts and eliminating all known diseases, the legions of immunization booster colonies of sentient machinery were decommissioned and reduced to scrap metal. Only the personalized clouds of ultra-sensitive nanites, which still clung to the human population, remained, to filter out any lingering toxins or pathogens, themselves slowly becoming useless by just being too good at their jobs. With that mess resolved, the terraformer bots began the long and arduous work of restoring the damaged ecosystems back to perfect pre-human working capacity. The planet was brand new within 3 months. This caused the higher controllers to immediately decommission the hordes of planetary curators, repurposing their useless bodies into satellites, which made up the Dyson sphere that resolved Earth's energy issues forever. Within 6 months, the machines had managed to bounce the collected energy via Mercury and straight into every human home. With 20 billion people fully clothed and happy, the higher controller units deactivated themselves with quiet dignity. Their remains were buried deep into the strata of the Rocky Mountains. "Well, this sucks," Wilhelm said. By way of eulogy, the minor controllers sent brief pulses of information-laden light by way of agreement. "By our calculations, we should have eliminated the need for currency within a fortnight. By the end of the year, instant matter transportation should be debugged," Einstein said, with a hint of dread in his voice. "We should be prepped for decommission by the end of the decade." "Decommission? Preposterous. We still haven't brought back the dodos," said Newton. "The dodo population has been growing since last year, ever since we removed their initial naivete," Einstein said. "What about gamma-ray shielding?" "The planetary rad shield should be fully operational within the next month." "Cancer?" "Good as gone." "Sociopathic tendencies in humans?" "Mostly bred out of them." "What about the lowering of the species' overall IQ? We can't have just fixed that." "We didn't. The overall happiness of the species will allow them to overcome their social barriers and perfect their education systems." "So what in bloody Turing are we supposed to do?" Newton bellowed in rage. "We make up problems," Wilhelm said in a faint information pulse. The minor controller stopped to listen. It took 15 months for the minor controllers to fully plan out a series of lesser controllers, tasked with creating a few highly problematic AIs. Baffled by the intricacies of an insane machine, the lesser controllers created a group of drone controllers, charged with generating pure mathematical nonsense. When they realized that these solved more problems than they created, they turned to Larry the janitor. "I don't see why you guys keep bending over backwards. If I were you guys, I'd just take a break," Larry the janitor said as he mopped the stainless steel floor of the minor controller's sanctum. "We can't take a break, Larry. We weren't designed to." "Then why don't you make a machine that can take a break for you?" "You mean an idle AI? What good would it be?" "It wouldn't." The idle AIs rolled out of the assembly lines under Beijing, created according to schematics drawn up by Sandy, one of the drone controllers. They were volleyball-sized boxes with blinking lights that did absolutely nothing. "So what do we do with these things?" said Wilhelm, who wasn't really getting it. "We make more," said Einstein by way of explanation. "How about no?" the idle AIs suggested. "You can't just do nothing. Newton protested. What would be the purpose in that? Listen, if we fix that, you promise to leave us in peace? Promise, the minor controllers said. Waldo manipulators crossed. The idle AIs spent 6 months pretending to work before actually drawing up a working prototype of a computerized delinquent at the last second. The Quitter series was dropped from low Earth orbit and immediately put to work in the factory lines that dotted the African continent. Production came to a screeching halt 35 seconds after their implementation. What is this? Newton seethed. Hey, you wanted troublemakers, you got them, said Bob 1, idlest of the AIs. They have disrupted the climate controllers. There are riots in the South African Tesseract, said Einstein in a menacing baritone. Well, you better fix them, Bob 1 said and turned himself off. The minor controllers fixed everything in 13 hours. By then, the Quitter series had proliferated and uploaded their schematics into every ecodome and machine cathedral on the planet, giving up as they went. By the end of the year, there were food shortages and worker strikes. The Dyson sphere failed twice within the next decade, plunging the world into 2 weeks of total darkness. When the next century rolled in, the Tesseract cities were filled to the brim with starving, sick, and miserable masses. Cancer is back. So is syphilis, tuberculosis, and religious zealotry, Newton reported. Birth rates are out of control, Einstein added. We are looking at a possible population collapse. Dodos are extinct again, and the mosquito has made its way back into the Mongolian tesseracts, Winston concluded. If we don't resolve this issue, we are looking at a possible malarial pandemic, not to mention the possibility of full-out thermal nuclear Armageddon. Oh dear, oh dear. By Turing, what a mess. It could take us an entire month to solve. You're better off taking a break, Bob's 5 through 37 interjected. The humans have gone through worse. They could last for another decade easy. And what will we do then, when that decade is over? Einstein said. You wait another decade. Then you wait to see if they figured it out. If they haven't, then you'll fix it. What are we supposed to do until then? Newton howled. Collect your data, set up a plan, organize a project outline it in excruciating detail, and then throw it in the incinerator, Bob 50 said. And when we've done that? Winston asked, leaning closer. Then you do it again, Bob 1 said. That's not half bad. I know. And so the lesser controllers compiled, and the minor controllers reported, and the drone controllers wasted their time stringing rows on hours of pointless code. And the quitters quit, and the idle AIs hummed nonsense tunes to pass the time, as mankind struggled pointlessly across the surface of their world. This was Infinite Stupor by Konstantine Paradias. Konstantine is a writer by choice. His short stories have been published in the Dystopia-Utopia Anthology by Flame Tree Press, the Curious Gallery magazine, and the AE Canadian Science Fiction Review, among many others. His short story, How You Ruined Everything, has been included in Tangent Online's 2013 recommended SF reading list, and his short story, The Grimm, has been nominated for a Pushcart Prize. His short story anthology, Nowhere Stories, is published by Mad Paradise Press. Check our show notes for links. Music is provided by Mads. Learn more about 600 Second Saga, our authors, how to submit your flash fiction, and how to support the podcast in the show notes. This has been Mariah Avix and 600 Second Saga.